Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to set up your GA4 with your Shopify store. Now, GA4 and Google Analytics 4 is super helpful for getting data on all types of traffic coming into your website, whether it's from paid ads, organic traffic, anything like that. It's super helpful, and the insights can really be extremely valuable to your brand. So I want to show you exactly how to set it up, and I'm also going to give you a few tips on how to use GA4 once you have everything set up in Shopify. So let's get right into it. Now, to start with, you're going to need a Shopify store, obviously. Now, I've just got a basic one here with nothing set up to show you guys exactly how to do the process. So you're going to be going into sales channels, and you're going to be getting the Google and YouTube sales channel here, just installing this one and going through with this process. Once you have this Google and YouTube sales channel installed, super simple. You just head in to the Google and YouTube sales channel, you connect your Google account, and then after you've connected your Google account, you then connect your Google Analytics 4 property, which is going to be under the settings tab that you can find a little bit higher up. Now, I won't walk you through that exact process because it is super easy from here on out. All you have to do is click connect Google account and then settings and then the GA4 or Analytics or Google Analytics 4, and you go connect account and you connect your GA4 property, which you already should have set up, right? And if you haven't already set up a GA4 or Google Analytics 4 property, all you have to do is go to analytics.google.com and set it up right over there, and you'll have it ready to go. Just follow the instructions. It's super duper easy. And then once you've integrated it with Shopify through this router here, that is exactly how you get it set up and ready to go. When I'm running Google ads for ecom brands, there's two primary uses that I have the GA4. The first one is as a backup attribution source. So if you have looked at any of my previous videos, you may have seen that I show you how to set up conversion tracking in an older video. And I do recommend with conversion tracking that you have a secondary or backup attribution source, such as Google Analytics 4, which basically has a secondary tracking and allows you to compare your GTM tracking against your GA4 tracking to see if it's accurate. Now, GA4 is known to slightly underreport conversion tracking in comparison to something like Google Tag Manager or direct integration. However, it's still a really useful comparison tool. If we just take into account that it should be slightly below our regular tracking, we can always make sure that our regular tracking is en route. The problem is if you only have one conversion action, say your GTM action, something breaks and you're missing out on a lot of data and you don't have a comparison tool like GA4, then you will have no idea what you're missing out on and you'll potentially be losing a lot of data, right? Very important. So like I said there, GA4 can act as a secondary source of purchase, add to cart, and begin checkout conversion data for your Google Ads. And when you sync up your GA4 through Shopify and you also sync up your Google Ads through Shopify, it's super easy for you to go into your Google Ads account, go to create a new conversion. And when you create a new conversion, you can create it as an Analytics GA4 conversion, and you'll automatically import all of your GA4 data as the conversion through there. And you can add that for purchase conversion, add to cart conversion, and begin checkout conversion. If you add this GA4 conversion for each one of those, it's really helpful and allows you to, again, compare and make sure that everything's working well. So yeah, and not only will it allow you to compare for minor issues, but if you have a major failure of your other tracking setup, so let's say your GTM completely breaks, you can just switch over to GA4 and use it temporarily to get some kind of tracking data into the account so you're not getting absolute zero, right? It can be really helpful in a case like that. And then as a data insight tool. Now, this is where it really kind of excels. I mean, it's not perfect, but it can be very helpful for identifying certain trends in traffic and revenue and traffic sources. So I'm going to walk you through some of my favorite tabs and how I find it very helpful when I'm analyzing data for Google Ads accounts and e-commerce brands. So GA4 possesses a very wide range of data reports and insights that are unavailable on the Google Ads platform. Critical to keep that in mind. Google Ads only has a very limited set of data that you can view through the reports and through the dashboards. So using GA4 as a supplement to your Google Ads dashboards can be super helpful for getting additional insights. And you'll find the vast majority of useful data under the reports tab and the advertising tab. So these are the two most important places to be looking if you want to try and find high quality data. But you really can just dive in and find a whole lot of data if you really dig into Google Analytics. One of my favorite uses of GA4 is the Attribution Paths tab, which allows you to view a customer's touch points through your advertising channels. Now, this is one that actually a lot of people don't really seem to use or know about. but it's a really, really helpful kind of tool here. As you can see, if you go under the advertising tab, under this little circle here, and then you go down to attribution and attribution paths, you can see it gives you a summary of the way that people are moving through your customer journeys, right? So it shows you what percentage of people are coming through your early touch points across paid social, organic search, organic social, paid search, paid shopping, mid touch points, and late touch points. And obviously the data is not complete in here, and there's only a limited kind of amount of data that you can gather, but it is very helpful to identify what kind of levers you can pull to increase your top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel acquisition, right? Through whatever channel you may want to be looking at. In this example here, you can see paid social is by far the biggest acquisition channel for this brand. And both the early, mid, and late touch points are dominated by the paid social, and then organic social followed by direct organic search, and then paid search down here, right? But you can see paid search as a late touch point is actually lower proportionally than paid search as a mid and early touch point, which is pretty unusual actually, but it indicates that paid search is definitely being leveraged in higher up in the funnel here. And perhaps we could increase bottom of funnel efforts on paid search to try and maximize our performance across here, right? Or try and maybe catch some low hanging fruit. That's one example there. Now, another great example, another great tab that I like to use is the traffic acquisition tab. This is really useful for identifying your primary traffic sources and a vague revenue distribution for you, right? So as you can see here, this one's a little bit more complex. I hope you can see everything nicely here. But if you go under the reports tab and then generate leads, traffic acquisition, you'll see something like this. And this shows you your different traffic sources and how they are contributing to your brand, right? So in this case, we have organic search, direct, paid search, organic video, paid video as our top 5. And we can then view the revenue distribution between them. Now, this isn't perfect. Something like Triple Whale or Hyros is probably going to give you more accurate data on how everything works attribution-wise and what kind of touch points are playing in and actually contributing. But this is a good way to just view vaguely from a top level for free what kind of revenue distribution you're getting across your channels. In this case, we're getting the vast majority of revenue from organic search, next greatest amount from direct, which is a little bit ambiguous. Direct traffic is always kind of ambiguous and you don't really know if it genuinely is people just going directly to the URL or if it's just misregistered. But that's a story for another day. And then paid search is number 3 on here, generating 13,000 in this period of 28 days. So again, really helpful, and you can get some more insights in here, like the events. Key events are basically just conversions, engagement rates, heaps and heaps of metrics that you can really filter through. If you go up here and you can edit the view as a whole, and you can also just kind of edit the metrics in here to add in whatever you may need and whatever you want to view with regards to your traffic sources. Now, a really useful tip is to just spend a lot of time exploring GA4 tabs and data. I guarantee that you'll find some additional metrics of use to you. Like, that is your homework for today. If I could leave you anything, just spend 30 minutes to an hour in GA4 browsing through, seeing what you can find, what you can edit, what kind of metrics you can identify. Of course, once you've got a little bit of data in your GA4 property, but it really is a wealth of data. And I know I've found myself multiple times kind of feeling stuck in an account, going over to GA4, digging into the data really deeply and finding a lot more insights and potential avenues that I can take to scale the account or improve ROAS. So highly recommend spending some time in GA4 and becoming more familiar and finding the best parts for your brand. That's all from me today. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions about the process, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I do read all the comments and I always try to reply to them all. Also, if you want me to set up the Google Analytics for you, or you just want me to set up your Google Ads as a whole, or you just want me to make you a lot more money with Google Ads, I can definitely help. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can come and call me and we can speak together, and I can let you know exactly how I can help you out with Google Ads and give you some ideas on just how we can scale up your brand and your account with my favorite advertising platform, and I think the best advertising platform, Google Ads. So that's all from me today. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.